Friends of Zeus podcast. Zeus fighting John Zeus. Desiree John Zeus. Here on the Friends of Zeus podcast.
Hello! Welcome back to the Friends of Zeus podcast.
There you
That's the
go.
exciting version for Desiree. This is episode 245. Tonight's kind of a everybody host kind of episode, and I'll give you a hint on what we're talking about. Ice, ice, baby.
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Yeah. Actually, I
All
mean,
right,
we
stop.
can talk about. I'm sorry.
Collaborate and listen.
Actually, we can talk about and it's still funny because I'm a registered Democrat, but the implosion within the Democratic Party recently. I mean, it's not just this ICE thing; it's the Somalian thing. What else has happened? I guess those two things, but that's a hell of a lot.
Oh, the Venezuela.
We're learning a lot about ice, baby.
Yeah,
Maduro vacation.
Maduro,
here in the
yeah,
US.
that too. And how I was listening to something on the Maduro thing, and it's like, again, these people are saying, why are you treating them with such injustice? And the plain and simple fact is that these same people, if they were there, would be shot in the streets under his order.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you'd say he was right leaning, but he certainly didn't like a lot of people that are representing the left right now. He was anti-abortion, like just everything that goes against what the Democratic Party. Yeah, he is.
Well,
and if you did get one, they'd like fucking shoot you in the streets. He was brutal.
Socialist. That's what the Google says.
I just never knew that the great like leftist uprising here in the US would be led by old fat white people. Like I didn't have that on my bingo card, but like when they still do the no kings thing here every weekend.
The man said, "Come and
it's
get
all
me."
geriatric fat people.
Trump said, "Don't test me with a good time. I'm gonna come get you."
Mm-hmm.
The crazy thing about that, it was like the force that went and got him, it was like 20 guys. And
you're talking about Maduro.
Yeah. And they said that there was somebody, I'm gonna loosely tell the story that I heard, but apparently one of the people that was like in Maduro's security force, they were like, we've never seen anything like it. They were he literally said, I never want to go through that again in my life. Like they had drones and fucking they just decimated
sonic weapons, and
that was pretty cool. Yeah. And there's Iran, but I don't know. I don't know who they're gonna take sides with on that, but looks like we're gonna be going there too.
I don't know.
Well, what do you want to? What should we going to talk about first? Since we just rattled off 3 things in the first 2 minutes.
I was talking about the implosion within their party, and I'm sure that even if it isn't now, the Iranian, whatever we're going to call it, conflict will somehow the government will be defended by the left because that's what they do.
Well,
but I'd like to start with the woman getting shot in where was it? Minneapolis?
Where else?
Yeah. Renee Good. Isn't that an ironic last name? For me, I don't know about you guys. I mean, I don't want anybody to die.
Of course not.
But my sympathy is done. She was, pushing them, she was being disrespectful to them. And at the end of it all, it's law enforcement. Fuck around and find out. And boy, well, I don't know if she found out. She was dead.
I mean, it's a good point saying it's law enforcement because, we have all this rhetoric of like, all cops are bastards and defund the police and
Yeah.
defund ICE and all this. And
Fat Gestapo.
Gestapo and like on January 6th, the Democrat Party loves police officers, and by the January 7th, they hate them again. And I
Yeah.
mean, ICE and Immigration Custom Enforcement are law enforcement officers by definition, LFO, right? So their jurisdiction is the entire United States, and their area of work is immigration and customs enforcement. And these people who, I don't know when this started, who believe that it's their right to
Obstruct.
not just protest, but obstruct people
Justice.
lawfully performing their job, and how this is somehow righteous.
And
And
it
then
was
they
clearly
get surprised when they get maced or hit or arrested or what have you. Um, the thing that kills me about this story is how it's just blown up like this. It's just so tiring. It's like, why is this even a big story? She was 100% in the wrong. Like, you can watch the video
Yeah.
Well,
and all that. And why is it even, I don't know.
it's because
See,
a cop shot somebody. That's why.
I
And
yeah,
actually, it's a white person for once.
yeah. Well, that's the whole thing. Like this whole move, this is a movement, guys. I mean, it's not. That's why this to me is a story as a conservative, because this isn't just one incident. Like this is a movement. It's funded. It's orchestrated. They communicate online. They have dispatches. I mean, these people are going out of their way to violate legally enacted federal law that has to do with immigration, and these guys are allowed to use that law to basically take enforcement action. I mean, it's on the books. They're not
Yeah.
breaking any laws. But for these people, it's fascism, it's Gestapo, it's our neighbors. They call them abductors
Yeah.
in their literature.
It's so crazy.
And
And
it's
well,
funny. I heard this term for as far as like the lovely ladies that were involved in this incident, Ms. Good and her love partner that was also goading on the cop on the tape.
Mhm.
There's a
he told
term
her to
flying.
drive.
There's a term flying around for these type of ladies. It's called awful, and it stands for affluent white female liberal.
Wow.
They're called awfuls because this is a thing. And that's why it's a story, guys, because we live in a country where like we can make fun of the Democrats' unpopular opinions about the trans and the Palestine and the immigrants, but there are millions upon millions of them that so their opinions are not that unpopular.
Yeah.
They're really
Yeah.
not. And this is Civil War type of shit. When you have Governor Waltz basically saying, "Oh, I may call out they're our
Yeah.
National
I
Guard."
mean, yeah. I mean, talk about inflammatory. I mean, that's
Yeah.
bananas.
I mean, they went out of their way to hunt down grandmothers who walked between velvet ropes when the cops held the doors open for them
Yeah.
on January 6th. And these fucking people are communicating online. The DOJ can't find these people. Like, I mean, like, what are we doing? Like, it's time to
Yeah.
start rounding these people up, not just the immigrants, but these people who are breaking federal law. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Let's also bring up a few. I haven't done the research, but it seems to be the pretty common narrative with this is A, she was 500 miles away from her home.
Oh yeah, she just dropped the kids off at the daycare. That's
Yeah.
the news told me.
Yeah, and she left her kids at home. First of all, I don't envy you, Jack, because I don't want to be 500 miles away from my kids.
No, of course not.
And most certainly not to go raise a ruckus in another area and possibly leave them stranded wherever I've left them.
They don't think that's going to happen.
Right. So here's the other thing that I heard is that apparently her lover was abusing the kids, putting cigarettes out on the arm.
Oh, I didn't hear any
I
of that.
haven't heard that.
No, I did. I did.
I
I
mean,
mean,
yeah,
is
okay.
it true? Who knows? But she looks the part. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I heard it through like either Tucker or I think Nick
Oh,
Fuentes talked about it.
oh my God. Okay.
That guy. I'm not a huge Nick Fuentes fan, but every once in a while he says some shit, and I'm like, all right, okay, I can get on board with that. But he just goes way too.
I
He's like
mean,
an angry Alex. What's his
yeah,
name?
he's like a Johnny come lately, man. I'm like, where have you been? But I mean, the thing is that is amazing with if you listen to like the rhetoric from these people that support this and the NPR people and everyone else, like they are literally we they are literally getting a completely different story than what is reality. Like they're just like what happened with the daycare centers in
Hmm.
Minneapolis where the news just wouldn't publicize that 68 out of 70 were Somalian. And then they say, like, I don't know why everyone keeps saying it's all Somalian people. It's like, because it is all Somalian people. Like, they just don't report that. The news in Minnesota and the MSNBC and CNN and all the, it's all like they're abducting US citizens, they're pulling babies out of their bed, they're kidnapping people in the middle of the night and like they're just randomly walking around grabbing people off the street. If you're black, they're just gonna arrest you and you're gonna get disappeared to El Salvador. Like, I mean, it which is just a non-reality. Like that's not what's happening. And I'm not saying that there haven't been people that have been wrongfully swept up, but they generally that gets figured out, you know. And the real problem here isn't, oh man, we're taking all these people off the street. The problem is the previous administration let in 20 million plus people, not just
Yep.
let them in, flew them in on chartered commercial airliners into the interior of the country for years. And
Yep.
like 20 plus, that's the problem. If you are of a certain political persuasion and you're upset with the fact that we have to have law enforcement going in and arresting people who are here illegally, you need to point to the Democrat Party. And that's where your beef is, because they're the ones that freaking caused this entire
Well,
disaster situation to start.
No,
and
but
this is
they're
not.
glad that they got let in. That's the
Yeah, they're
thing.
glad for it.
Here's the thing. This is not protesting by was it is it in the Constitution where it talks about the right to a lawful
Assembly.
protest? Some
Yeah, no
assembly, yeah.
one no one is upset about protesters. That's another canard.
But these are not protesters. That's what I'm
That's what
saying.
exactly.
I saw this guy. He was a lifelong Democratic protester. But he said, "Look at me. I got no scars on my head. I got no police record. I can walk without broken legs." He was like, "That's how you protest. When the cops come up and they say, 'Stop it. We're gonna put the cuffs on you.' You stop." And I thought it was a really valid point, especially coming from that side of the fence, that he was like, "This is not how you're supposed to be doing this. It's supposed to be again a peaceful assembly of
Yeah.
people, not
Yeah.
rage. Like this is a scary, scary time. You
They're
got
throw yeah, they're throwing rocks and bricks at cops. I mean, like that's what they're doing. It goes beyond, hi, we're gonna have a demonstration in the local park. We have a permit. We're gonna be out there. Come help, come join us, carry signs, da 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 da. This isn't that. This is
Mhm.
like orchestrated, funded, and also
But it,
funded by NGOs
yeah,
that are funded by your tax dollars to some degree.
I think Jack,
That's nuts.
that's the linchpin in this whole thing that no one seems to talk about is there's this impression that's sold again by the Democrat Party media that this is somehow organic and that this is, you know, just people like something happens and they have printing presses in their basement to make these completely mass produced professionally printed signs in
Yeah.
17 minutes and
And
they're out there.
yeah, in like 12 different cities.
with all using the same poles that are all
Yeah.
stable. I mean, it is
Yeah, remember
a
when we went to
orchestrated
DC,
thing.
Mike, and we were looking the signs, there was something manufactured. There's a
Yes,
manufactured feel about it.
100%. And I mean,
Yeah.
there's footage of, vans pulling up and like people unloading like 300 signs. And my point is, Jax has now mentioned it twice, and our media never wants to talk about this because that's the truth. It is not, um, you look at a group like Indivisible, you look at like this No Kings thing. This is all getting massive funding from Soros NGOs and, Act Blue and all these other. It's a political movement. It is not some organic protest movement.
Yeah, but
And
don't you think too that it does rise to the level of insurrection when
yes,
you're
100%.
obstructing federal law enforcement from carrying
Yes.
out federal law?
That's the ironic part about it is I always
So
have to hear like insurrection, January 6th, with which wasn't. And to this day, NPR still calls it the January 6th insurrection.
yeah.
I don't know how they're allowed to even do that, but I mean, no one was charged with that. It's not an insurrection by any definition. I mean, you want a perfect example of like repeat a lie enough and it becomes the truth. It is
Yeah.
that. I mean, they did it. There's people out there like, oh, it's an insurrection. And okay, what about these cops that are like, or these people that are like beating up cops and like throwing things? Oh no, that's peaceful protesting.
Yeah, or just
How
or
about what
even
didn't?
or even simple obstruction by
Yeah,
not listening, by blocking the road with your body or your car. I mean, you
yeah,
don't I mean, you're going beyond here. I mean, when you have groups and funding, I'm sorry, man. That to me isn't just an impulsive, hey, man, I don't believe in what they're doing, so I'm going to lay on this sidewalk or
yeah.
whatever. I mean, it's a little bigger than that.
It's like a
I mean,
Rico case, man.
that's what I'm saying. Like, what are we doing, DOJ? Come on,
Yeah,
Trump. You
yeah,
know? And I know it's a bad look. He's going after American citizens for their First Amendment rights. It's bullshit. This just like the lady you guys wanted to talk about, this Miss Good. She's a nice microcosm of this because maybe her intentions were just, oh, we're going to go up there and we're going to let our voices be heard, da 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 da. At the end of the day, you found yourself in a spot with a cop with his gun drawn in front of your car and you gunned it.
yeah,
This
yeah.
is
You
what's
hit the
going to
gas.
happen. That's what's going to happen. I mean, people are going to get hurt.
And the reports
What
are
we've
that this
got
is.
here is a failure to communicate.
Wait, I'm just saying the reports are is that she has been doing this, and that day that her and her wife had been doing this all day
Yeah.
for hours because this was like
And the
in the
weird thing is, it
afternoon.
was like right in the middle of a neighborhood. It didn't. It wasn't like on a city street. It looked like it was in the suburbs.
Did you see what the neighbors did? Like they barricaded the streets afterwards after the police left and like they tried to start their own little like chop or like Seattle. They tried to do that. Like it was like Les Miserables at the intersections with like pallets and
The one thing,
dumpsters
okay,
and couches
again,
up piled up.
I'm not a huge Nick Fuentes fan, but he did say one thing that I thought was hilarious. He is,
He's
"Oh,
so,
look at this! White lives matter again."
yeah.
It was like, oh,
I did see somebody say that. I didn't know it came from him, but
I think it was him.
Oh
it was like a
God.
meme. I saw it as a meme.
Yeah,
I I don't understand the love for that guy from
I don't either.
I'm it's
He's
like, yeah,
he's
can we
arrogant.
get this like quasi white supremacist dude on our team? Like, why is people even like there's so many other people like
No,
He's not
Richard
even
David
no.
quasi.
Wilson,
Look,
Thomas
Mike.
He's
Sowell, like
full
all these
on.
people. Like,
No,
who's
Mike.
listening
I'll
to this
tell you
guy?
why. I'll tell you why. Because his
Yeah,
big following is young white men. That's the bulk of his followers. And I think that you have a generation or two of young white men that have been told their whole lives that they're pieces of shit.
yeah,
And so
absolutely.
they're now going to, so the natural consequence of that is you're going, if you keep telling people they're racist, you know what you're going to make? A bunch of
Racist.
racists.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're gonna be
Because
like, okay, you named
yeah,
me
and
that.
that's why Andrew Tate is popular with the whole misogynist movement. You know what I mean? Because men have been also been told that they're sexist their whole lives. So you got generations of kids that are like, you know
Hmm.
what? Fuck this. I'm listening to this guy. He
And
gets
you
it.
know,
He feel,
you're making a point that you're not even trying to make is like when we all fairly lean right or we're in the where the left used to be, but not there anymore. And none of us are supporting this Fuentes guy. I hate Andrew Tate. I think he's a piece of shit. Um, yeah, so I mean, it's good to know that we at least speak
Well,
for a portion of the right that are pragmatic and
oh, a
not
large portion.
full of
I think
hate.
most people are not Nick Fuentes fans. I'm just saying he's got a
No,
big
no.
young following for sure, and so
yeah.
But I
does
could
Andrew
also
Tate.
understand why kids would be like that. Like, what did I do, man? I'm fucking 18. I'm
Yeah,
barely able to wash my fucking clothes. You know what I mean? And people are calling me, like you said, misogynist,
racist.
racist, fucking you name it.
Everything's your fault. You have no culture.
That's a
The whole
lot of weight. I mean, that's a lot of weight for us, and we're seasoned in life. We are able to brush a lot more off than these. I mean, I look at my kid, and he has difficulty brushing stuff off. He's yeah. I don't envy the kids that are out there right now.
No,
yeah, no,
that's
I
why
don't
we
either.
send them to war. Yeah, I mean that's any
Yeah.
all people of that age are little. We've talked about that before. They're a little rash, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really the manufactured part of this is what's so frustrating to me is it, and the fact that it's like the emperor has no clothes and you're like not allowed to talk about it or point it out or
Biden.
how. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's it is. I mean, you hear this rhetoric on the right about the enemy within, and it sounds very sinister, and it sounds like, man, oh, that's a little overkill, but I don't think it is anymore. I mean, it really you're talking about forces at work in our country that are openly working against the will of the people and the rule of law. And they're doing it out in the open, and they're doing it with the support of one of the two major political parties in our
Yep.
country.
And they've got a
Eh,
lot more power than I'd like to give them credit for because if
yeah.
I'm at work and somebody's talking about something that I disagree with, from a left standpoint, I got to shut up because I'm going to be the one if I
You
say
definitely
something.
need to shut up. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't. Yeah.
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 You got a lot of you have a lot of marks on
Yeah,
your
man.
record at
Just
this point.
keep
Don't
it
say a fucking
simple.
word.
Yeah, don't talk about politics at work, kid.
No, but well, I was speaking to
Or
the
trans or women or Muslims. Just keep it all.
Let's talk
well,
about
On the
donuts
podcast.
and sunshine later.
I was
Donuts.
talking to this one girl from Ghana.
And also just bring them every shift.
Yeah,
Uh,
just bring the donuts, man.
I was talking to this girl from Ghana at work, and I asked her what she thought about this whole thing, and she's like, "Well, he shouldn't have shot her." And then right as we were talking, the video from his perspective
Hmm.
came
Yeah.
up, and I'm like, "What was he supposed to do?" And I actually turned her around on it. She was like, in as much as she could say, she couldn't back down, but she was like, hmm. She was like, yeah, that's not a good look. Um, yeah, it bothers me that somebody died. It bothers me more that this is going to be a rallying call for, like, I already saw this. This was funny. I saw this reel, I think like an Instagram reel of this lady shaving her head in solidarity with Renee Cook.
Or good. Yeah.
She said Cook.
Oh,
She had it down on the bottom and everything, and this guy's commenting on it, or no, it was a lady who was commenting. She's like, "You care so much about this that you're going to shave your head for everyone to see, and you didn't even get the lady's name right." It was pretty funny.
I mean, I mean, the thing is too, it is traumatizing. I mean, for people in that neighborhood,
Yeah.
for
And again, why
the
in a neighborhood?
officer, for the wife, for all the people, all the other officers and witnesses. I mean, if you guys saw, did you guys see pictures of the vehicle afterwards? It had like when it hit that other car, of course, the airbag went out. And they had
Mm.
this picture showing the airbag deployed, and it was just like red. You know what I mean? It was just
Ugh.
like there's so much blood. There's blood outside the vehicle from where she drove. So,
Mm.
I mean, and there's people live in that neighborhood. I mean, I can you imagine just walking outside your house and like someone gets, I mean, I can't, that's happened. But
Oh,
I
and they're
mean,
not
my
going to be
point
able to
is,
get anywhere for weeks. There's going
but
to
my
be news vans and everything around their houses
but
for
that's the
weeks.
stuff that sticks with people forever. I mean, there's going to be people 8 years from now that wake up in the middle of the night at 2 in the morning, like reliving that. I'm not making light of it, but it's also not, I don't blame the officers for it. I mean, they're there doing their job. They give direction. I mean, 4 times on video, they're like, get out of the car. You cannot like it. You can think that it's completely unfair, but it is just like a police officer telling you to put your hands on the wheel or whatever. You can't just ignore that. I mean, you can, and then you get shot in the face. I mean, that's the consequence. That's the
And
consequence
didn't
of
didn't they say
ignoring
that
it.
the guy that shot her, didn't they say that he had one of their arguments is that he was like PTSD? I guess he got
It just
dragged
happened
behind
to
a
him
car.
6 months ago
Yeah.
Yeah,
He had like 36 stitches or something. He got
in his
dragged.
leg. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I guess, if I'm gonna cite on anything, maybe, yeah, PTSD that could happen, but he seemed pretty measured in his reaction to the situation. So I
It's
don't know that he was like gunning for somebody.
Oh, he
I don't
literally
think it
got
was
hit
like,
by the car.
Yeah.
yeah.
he got hit by the car. And the other thing is, look, if ICE agents were out there hunting um, you know, innocent people, there'd be a lot more people dead. Like, I mean, look what had to happen for this to happen. It's not like
Yeah.
they're walking around shooting people, but you would never know that, like listening to Jen Psaki, that, you think that there were like roving hordes of law enforcement officers out there, like just shooting innocent people left and right. It's
And
bananas.
again, you make a point. Look what everything that had to happen. She had to drive 500 miles to a to an area
And
that's just
follow them all day. She was doing this all day, apparently.
the
Well,
thing that
that's one
got
of the
me.
that's actually in the literature. There's a group I saw the beginning of a podcast today. The Matt Walsh, he did like an expose. His producers actually got online and they infiltrated like one of this group that was part of what these people were doing. And I think their name was Defending the 612, which I guess is like the area code
Mm,
for that area. And it's also God, there's an NGO with a different name that they sort of use to to do fundraising, but the money goes to this group. And they, like I said, they have online digital pamphlets, printed out ones, dispatchers. They have like live online chats where they'll dox the license plates and the agents. Some of their methods that they use, like they talk about them as abductors, like I said, but
yeah.
they tell them exactly how to be disruptive and do it like sort of within the lines of what's legal. It's fucking crazy, and they have whistle signals to each other. I mean, they you know what I mean. Like if there's something going down
Like an
at a
army.
Home Depot, let's say, they'll put the word out on the street. The bat signal goes up, and then everybody converges on that area. They're literally trying to stop operations. Now, I don't know if a fucking podcast on the Daily Wire can infiltrate this stuff. Why can't the DOJ?
And why can't the media? Because they don't
Oh, the
want
media's
to.
not going to.
Yeah, right.
They
They don't want to.
No, they don't
No,
want
this
to.
is making them
They
money.
want their Mike. Let's be honest. They want there to be more of this woman. They want more
Yes,
white
100%.
women
Be right
Americans
back, guys.
to get hurt.
Look how
That's what
many
they want.
eyeballs they're getting off this. Have you guys seen anyone getting picked up? I have. I don't know if
But
it's because
also,
where I live, but
but Mike, it also puts all they want to do. This whole goal of this media apparatus is to put this administration in the worst light. Okay,
yes.
so if Trump and his government go after people that are American citizens in any way, even if it's valid prosecution, they're going to say it's Gestapo.
Yes.
even though they did that to Trump for 4 years.
Yes. Yes. I mean, that's the thing. It's like no one wants to. It's so much
And
gaslighting, man. It's like
it's it's
exhausting. It's
it's also
exhausting.
it's gaslighting, but it's pouring gasoline on an open fire too,
Yeah.
because they're actually like they're encouraging Americans to be revolutionaries without coming really out and saying it.
Yeah. I mean, look at the rhetoric from the governor of Minnesota and the mayor of Minneapolis and
Yeah.
the attorney general of Minnesota. I
Yep.
mean, and just take their personalities out of it, take their history out of it. I'm not even using their names. But if you look at what they said,
Yeah.
I, I don't understand how anyone with an honest respect for reality can support the what they said and their rhetoric about ICE getting the F out and calling up the National Guard to fight ICE and how here's how you can uh you know civil disobedience against ICE and whatever. I mean, civil disobedience, have at it, whatever. This isn't civil disobedience. This is like actively fighting against a lawful activity. It just is. And you're going to get shot. If you guys did it, if Desiree went out and
Hey,
she got pulled over, or she was like out somewhere where the police were doing something and she got all up in their face and did it would not end well. It has nothing to do with it's the behavior. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's it goes back though to another theme that we've said. Like, I don't know, is it just a small group of people that are doing this and they're punching above their weight? And so like all these famous podcasts, like Friends of Zeus podcasts, like start talking about it, but the vast majority of people think it's
Aren't doing
stupid,
it. Right.
or think it's, but I don't know because again, my small sample size, people I go see that are clients, people that are in my office, neighbors, like they're totally hook, line, and sinker into this crap.
Yep.
They're totally into. Again, just I've seen a few people picked up or ICE operating in the area. I live very close to Tacoma Park, Maryland, which is probably, I mean, it makes San Francisco look like you know Berlin during the war or something. I mean, they're so leftist, it's ridiculous. They allow illegal aliens to vote in Tacoma Park, like by statute, like they vote
We're
for,
talking Tacoma Park, Maryland.
yeah.
Okay.
Um, but anyway, I was driving through there and there was they're all in unmarked, generally SUVs and then full-size pickup trucks. And they had this car penned in and they had like six dudes standing out there with, the full, BCP and the ice flak vests and the all that. And people were driving by with their windows down, honking, middle fingers, pulling over in the median recording. And this was on a two-lane divided highway. I had to kind of like get around. And unlike most of these people, I have a job, I have to do stuff, so I couldn't hang
mhm.
out and stay there. But it was a scene, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I have a feeling that there's people driving around, and when they see these ICE vehicles, I mean, every time I've seen it, there's been these morons out doing stuff around them.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, I
it's
think
not
it's
making the
I
news
think
because no
it I
one's
think
getting
it
shot, but
no, I think it's happening everywhere, Mike. That's what I'm saying. Like look at the election results. I think these people it's like it's the whole weaponized empathy thing. Like
yes,
it works. It works and it worked on these people, especially the awfuls. The awfuls are totally on board.
I love
Then you
that. I love them all.
then you have the boomers. There's all these really old, rich liberals, like where you see like the skinny old guy and the old lady, and they start yelling at whoever's asking them questions. Like they go bananas. I don't know,
Yes.
man.
And I've seen some crazy videos recently. One I saw where this guy I think it was in Minneapolis, and he lights a flag on fire, throws it to the ground, and then the person that's recording him goes, "I'm going to follow this guy." The guy just lit the flag, threw it on the ground, and got out of Dodge.
Hmm.
And she follows him with a couple guys, and they're confronting him. What the fuck was that? And he's like, "Why can't you mind your own business?" Like he was clearly there to just
Just to do that.
start the fire. The
But
other one was a bunch of these protesters blocking a little old lady from crossing the street. And it
Oh, that's
was like,
old.
oh, that's old?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's Antifa, I think, right?
I was just, okay, well, still,
have you seen
wow.
any enforcement actions down there near
Me?
your abode?
No.
No.
Hmm.
No, I mean, look, I live in like I mean, there's places where it's illegal central, like you're like in a different country,
Yeah.
and I haven't seen ICE doing anything.
Yeah, I've seen them downtown, like downtown DC, because I'm around Capitol Hill and all that pretty frequently, and like in all kinds of different neighborhoods.
And that's where the media is so insidious is they, again, it's like when we talked about January 6th, like the camera was really, really close in. So it looked like thousands of people were there. But if they would have taken the cameras back here, it would have been a different picture. And I think that's the media blows these little incidents. I mean, because where I live, man, it's they call it Mexicanindale, Afghanindale. They've got anything that has AN in it, they call it that just because it's a very,
Diverse.
very diverse area. And I've seen nothing there. Nothing.
That's shocking.
That's what this state's like. I'm not seeing a presence.
And so sometimes we have to, this is really, we've said it 1,000 times on the show, but this really is a pay no attention to the man behind the curtain situation. We're being delivered a bill of goods that may not be nearly as explosive as it's made to
As it
seem.
sounds. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's all you need. You just need to spark to light the fire. And then, I mean, you guys talk about Civil War. I don't know if you're being facetious, but it's feeling like something's gonna go down big. I don't
I
know
mean,
what.
I mean, I don't think any of us have been through anything like that. And sometimes it may seem that way, but it's still a big, there's a difference between people looking at things on their phone and like, oh man, this is horrible. Look at this video. And people walking down their street and neighbors are like having physical confrontations with them. I still think I mean, I'm pretty cynical sometimes, but I still think we're pretty far from that. I mean,
Yeah, sure, but again, you've lived in Annandale. One would think Annandale would be prime picking for ICE to show up. I mean,
oh my
literally,
God, yeah, absolutely.
like literally in Annandale, where I live, um, you've got the groups. We've talked about it before, where like I think it's Rico or whatever, where if you have a group of more than 10 people standing together, it's a gang, and then they can pull you in. So you always have these mini clusters of like 4 or 5 people, and then go down another 20 feet, and there's another cluster of 4 or 5 people because they're staying within the law and not drawing attention to themselves. But still, that is there. That is a real thing where I live. I see it every day whenever I'm out on 236. I see it, and I would have thought that Annandale would be a prime spot for something like that. So again, I got to question what we're seeing versus what is real.
Yeah, it's up to interpretation, but again, you can't deny that people are feeling it. I mean, people
Well,
that, yeah,
what about the attacks? Like, I mean, we talked about it in the last episode. Like, there were literally like ICE agents being shot out and having
yeah,
bricks thrown at them. People have been shot.
that's a
Some
good
migrants
point.
actually got killed. So, I mean, in this case in Minneapolis, you have I don't even know how many ICE agents are there on the ground at this point, but you had this little incident with this lady in her truck. She tries to, whether she intended to hit him with the car or not, she hit him with the car. She revved it up. It hit him. She's
Well, her
dead.
her her spouse or girlfriend or whatever said, "Drive, drive, drive."
Yeah,
Like,
drive, baby, drive. I heard it.
so
But what I'm saying is, what happens when the next incident is another? Okay, three ICE agents got assaulted and one's dead.
Yeah.
You
That's
know, like
coming. You know it's coming.
it's coming. That's
I
what I'm
mean,
saying.
look,
And
on
what
this ep-
when does Trump go full king? I mean, when do we see fascist Trump? When does the military step in?
well,
Because
I was actually discussing that with Jason. I was trying to get him on tonight because he wanted to talk about this, but how can anybody argue that the right is these brutal fascist
The camera.
murdering bastards when we have all the fucking guns? You know what I mean? Like if
well,
we are practicing restraint on Herculean levels, whereas God, man, I'm so anti-left now.
but
Like the left
a
is
lot of
just
people, but a lot of
violence,
people,
violence, violence, bricks. Didn't a National Guardsman or an ICE agent get shot recently? Wasn't that a story?
well, no, there were attacks. There was a huge a major gunfire incident in Texas, I think, where the migrant got killed. They shot into a van.
yep,
Hmm.
yeah,
You know, and they also like they'll stop the vehicles, they're doxing the agents, they're finding out where they sleep and making noise all night so they don't get any rest. There's all sorts of stupid shit going on.
and I really think it's not it, the big lie is that this is all just happening
Everywhere.
organically. And what no one in the media and no one in the Democrat Party wants to talk about is all of the infrastructure behind this that's funding it, scheduling it, organizing it, and all this stuff. We're just supposed to believe that this lady, Renee Good, and her spouse were just, driving around and like, fighting against the man, when they saw that it, they're part
Man,
of an organized group that communicates with each other, that has tactics, that have meetings about how to do this. They work together, they coordinate, they call each other, they organize with each other. I mean, that's a whole different
but
thing than like just grabbing a pitchfork and being like, "Oh, I'm gonna rally against ICE." I mean, this is
but
like
Yeah,
even
but
it's over
that,
the top. It's over
yeah,
the
but
top.
listen, but there's I can see when you're talking about like the awfuls and some of these like bored rich boomers or whatever. This is like the ultimate revolutionary club, and it's something fun and cool. And I'm part of a movement,
Yeah.
and the only reason that they're all doing it, Mike, is because at the end of the day, they think of it as a game. They think that they're not going to get hurt,
Yeah,
that they're
there's no
not going to
consequence.
get arrested. And even if they're arrested, they won't really get charged with anything and they'll be bailed out. And look what a hero I am. Like they think this is like some kind of like, it's like, like people play Dungeons and Dragons, it's a fantasy. And
Yeah.
this is almost like Total Recall. It's a fantasy that's reality. Like you're really going to make a difference. And look at me. But at the end of the day, nothing's going to happen to me. So this
well,
is so let's drive 500 miles and let's make a big scene and we'll be with our kindred spirits and we'll all protest the man because at the end of the day nothing bad can happen.
Yeah.
You know what I
well,
mean? They
Yeah.
don't think they're like, and that goes to Zeus's point about the restraint by the administration. They're counting on that restraint or they wouldn't
It
do this. If you thought you
because
might.
they've already created the narrative that the administration is the devil. So all the administration has to do is slip up one time and they're
yes.
justified. Here, and Mike, to what you were saying, because you may find this interesting, them saying this, but I don't mind there being organization behind protests. I don't mind them saying, you
Yeah,
guys meet
not
here, you guys meet there.
protests.
It's the insidious and violent nature of
Yeah,
it
what's the
that
end game?
is the bothersome part.
And where is the money coming from? Is this and is it again, this whole point is it is political, right? There's no anti-Democrat Party funding going on for in any of these protests. I mean, I'm still amazed that this party is able to be on the 20% side of every 80, I didn't come up with that term, but like every 80-20 issue, they're on the 20% side. It's amazing to me. Like what they support versus what like actual people support.
That's
It's
why I think
again,
I don't think those numbers are right. That's the problem.
Yeah.
again,
Because when
it's I think it's kind of the choreography. I've said it a million times. Is choreography versus conspiracy. They look at whatever issues are getting clicks right now, and they find a a way to make their side either the victim or the other side villainous, and they're just constantly doing it, like Minneapolis, like now we're anti-Somalian. No, we're not anti-Somalian, we're anti ripping off the fucking government. I got no beef with anybody from anywhere except for Aborigines. They just look weird. But anyway, um, I don't hold it in my heart to hate anybody without them giving me reason. I know Somalians, I work with Somalians, they're fine people. But
On both
they,
sides.
they happen to be the group that is the highest population in these scams that were going on in Minneapolis.
Yeah, they're grifters. We let them come in here. We gave
Yeah.
them temporary protective status because of a stupid war that Bill Clinton got us involved with in the first place, and they've been running roughshod
Yeah.
ever since.
Yeah. I love how
I mean,
like
it's time. It's time to go. I'm sorry. If you're not already a U.S. citizen, if you
see ya.
didn't do all, but you got to go. You got
But
to go. And if it
I
takes
Well, I mean, but
10,000
here's the
army
thing.
soldiers, then it takes 10,000 army soldiers. Honestly,
yeah.
Here's
And
the
I
thing, though. It's not like it's an Occam's razor situation. Nobody said all these places are ripping off the government. They're building schools that said, I think it said lean
Yeah, it had no end.
leering.
Learning,
Leering.
had
leering.
or leer, whatever. But not like somebody said, "Oh, well, let's put this on the Somalians." No, Occam's razor. Who's behind most of this? Somalians. It's not to say that all Somalians are bad. It's to say that Somalians are the larger
Well,
populace of the people that are doing this right now.
but I love like how we're all expected to tiptoe around this immense culture difference. And again, like Jack was saying, the circumstances that a lot of these people came in are suspect. And the way if you listen to like CNN, you would think that there's these like little Somalian boys in Minneapolis that are like, when I grow up, I want to be like Benjamin Franklin, and I'm learning about the Constitution, and I love Fourth of
Well,
July
they
is my
would do
favorite
that
holiday.
if they were
It's like
actually
they have
going to any
no,
schools.
but what I'm saying is they have zero interest in assimilating into American culture. Period. Period. They'll come right out and say it. That's a huge problem. I mean, the whole point of immigration is to make the country that's bringing the people in stronger. It's not to bring in another 10 million welfare recipients
Yeah,
that are a burden on the healthcare and the educational system.
yeah.
And when you say that, people are like, "Oh my God, that's so horrible. How can you
Well,
say that?" And
we're
I'm like,
supposed to
"Because it's
become better.
reality.
well,
Well,
yeah,
That's
but
what's happening."
the
here's the thing.
America
Here's
the
the thing.
America that they want them to assimilate into is the America where they were all colonialist, imperialists.
Yeah,
All white people are bad. All wealth is bad. All private property is bad. Equity is all that matters.
yeah.
And that's the new America, Mike. And so they fit right in.
Well,
They fit.
here's the
Show me
thing.
a Somalian kid in a tricorn hat this summer during 4th of July, and we can have a conversation. But you're never
Here's
gonna
I
see
think
it. You're
No,
never
because
gonna see it.
they don't want that America.
They don't want it.
That America's old. It's
the
dead.
I think the point that should be taken from this is that America is supposed to become better through diversity,
Correct.
not in spite of diversity. You
I don't
know,
know if
it's kind of like where America is kind of shooting itself in the foot for being so diverse. I'm for
Yeah.
diversity. I like being able to walk down the street in the
but
town I live in. There's a pizza place here. There's a Korean barbecue there. There's
but
a
you're supposed to bring
Asian
in
restaurant. I like the choices,
you're
but
sup- Yeah. I'm just saying, where are the doctors and engineers? That no one, they're not doctors and engineers coming in, right? They're not even people that necessarily have any skilled trades. A lot of them. So we're not the world's what do you want to
Welfare
call it?
state.
Yeah, we're not the world's welfare state. We're not like, oh man, you're having a bad time in your country, so why don't you cross through 10 other countries and get here? And oh, by the way, if Somalian culture was so fantastic, why is Somalia such a shithole? Like what are they running away from?
Yeah,
And
Trump's
and
been
they
saying that for a long
and
time.
they come here and they're like, "Yay, Somalia! We love Somalia." I'm like, "Well, then it's go. You're welcome to it." But this is America. Like we do
And
things a
why
little
is it that that
differently
sounds
here.
so bad to say, if you don't like it, then leave?
I don't
Why is
know.
it?
I don't know why that sounds so bad because it's like whatever. We're the
Yeah, but
most generous, welcoming
yeah,
country
no, they
on the
don't. They
face
they
of the
love it.
planet.
They love it because they
Because
come
you know
here and
what? They look at
they
us
get
as
free.
suckers.
No, right? Because they come here and we work and we get taxed and they get free shit.
Yeah, it's a fantastic system if you're
Yeah.
them.
And how about these women like the Renee Good and all that hate a country where they're from, first of all. What the fuck? But also they hate the country that has more rights for women than a
Yep.
lot
Yeah.
of the free world.
It's a fetish
Um,
to feel like a victim all the time, and they look for
Yes.
any reason they can to feel that
Yep.
way.
oh my God. I hope I get through this so I can have a few years of just peace. You
I have
know?
a question.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So
See
with
how I
this,
said yes, ma'am? Respectful.
yes, as you should.
Thank you.
Yeah. Um, so the Laren centers were, did they actually like,
Clear there.
so they were just money laundering fronts, right? They
Yes.
weren't,
So
they
Yeah.
didn't actually take kids there.
correct.
Oh,
You're
okay.
right. So they
Maybe
would
like a
sign up,
handful would show up sometimes, like two.
Okay.
but they
I
would
just wanted
sign
to
up
know.
like, oh, we're teaching 120 kids, and then the state would take the federal funds, and say, okay, well, you get
Billions.
$150 per child per week times time.
And it's like a reverse kind of pyramid scam of these people were doing the scam. They probably made a decent bit of coin, but the real people behind it were just fucking pulling
That
their piles of money in and not going even to the people, the Somalians that were committing the actual crime. There were just these people that were probably fucking, Somalia is a warlord country. This is probably the first world version of warlords just coming in. They take and take and take and take and
Well,
take. You know what? Do you follow where I'm going with this? Or
you're saying there's probably a hierarchy in the RICO thing that they had.
absolutely,
Oh yeah, probably.
yeah. I
Yeah, one guy got a Mercedes Benz, fucking sports car out of it, and another guy, maybe got, fucking 20 grand. Here you go.
And
You know,
if you want to know why the Democrat Party has been trying to destroy Trump and hated the fact that he won, look at this, because this would not even be a story if Kamala Harris had won in 2024.
oh,
no,
forget
Tim
we'll
it.
Walz would be
continue
the
to go
vice
on.
president. He can't even get
He knew,
reelected governor, and he would have been our vice president right now. That's
and
you talk about dodging a freaking bullet, man.
yeah, no, seriously, and I'm sorry, but he's for them to allow this much growth in how much money was going to this sort of thing. I'm sorry, but politicians, a lot of them are on the take. Look at Menendez with the gold bars.
100%.
Don't tell me Waltz didn't see a dime of this money.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
I don't
Oh,
fucking
oh,
I
buy
can't
that.
wait for that to
let
come
me
out. I can't
let me
wait.
diverge for just a second. Did you guys hear this recent news about Rand Paul?
I know he was on Joe Rogan. That's all I know.
No, apparently, and this is could be
Made
unfactual,
up.
but the person I got
Un-
it from is pretty reliable. Non-factual, whatever, without fact. They were saying that Rand Paul was getting money from Venezuela. Did you hear any of this? Or, well,
yeah,
I
I've
guess we'll
not
be
heard
hearing
that.
about it. Well, I'm sure we'll be hearing about it soon. But
Well,
that
yeah, but look, I don't know much about I assume Rand Paul is against the police action that took place in Venezuela. Is that a safe bet or
Yes,
no?
that is
Okay.
the case.
Probably,
Okay, so
yeah.
so if he's bad mouthing the move, it doesn't strike me as surprising that someone would say, "Oh, he's on the take from Maduro." Now, whether that's true, but it's I could see somebody trying to discredit him with something like that. I'm not saying he
Yeah,
didn't.
perhaps.
You
I was
know,
just wondering if you guys had heard anything
I
about
had
it.
not heard that. No, I know he
Yeah,
was on Rogan like today or something. I didn't
yeah,
see
yeah.
it.
I can't wait to watch that one, actually.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but now I don't know. Does anybody else, Des, do you want to have anything else you want to say about this whole ICE situation?
Well, you know, and I'm not saying that if you fuck around with the cops, you're gonna find out by getting shot every time. I'm not saying that.
And
And
Okay.
nor do we
so,
want that.
but she hit him with the car,
Yep.
Yeah, 100%.
or damn near hit him with the car. I don't really know
She hit him. He
No,
hit the
there's
hood.
the
Yeah.
because
body
you can
cam
the
shows
angles.
him getting hit.
Well, I know, but like, I don't know if it shows him. I don't know because it could he could have got like clipped with the bumper. I'm really confused at how, and I'm not. This is not me defending it. I'm just saying, how was it that he got hit but was able to shoot that quickly? Was it him that shot or
He
another one?
so he was in the front, like where the front left headlight
Mm-hmm.
was.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that people need to understand, and again, put yourself into the situation, like just
No, I understand,
meditate.
and
But as soon as the engine revs, that's it. That's
Done.
all
no,
you
I know
need.
it's
It's guns going. I mean, it doesn't
Yeah.
have to hit you. It doesn't, I mean, it did hit him,
And
but it
also,
doesn't even have to. She spun the tires. The
she
tires,
did.
you're like,
Yep.
like
And,
that
and and he's got the gun pulled with his right hand
already.
already because she has not shut off the car and gotten out of the car yet. And that's just, one cop's approaching on the driver's side. He's there. The car's running. He hears it rev. You know what
That's
I
over,
mean?
man. As soon
Guns
as it revs.
drawn, and then the next thing you know, his left hand is being used to
Steady
protect
himself.
himself against the hood of the car that's running into him. At that point, pop, pop, pop. I mean,
I
And
like,
plus,
no,
they
I
were
understand. I'm
taunting
just
him.
saying
They
that
were taunting him. Those
it's
two
yeah, they
just
were.
women.
surprising that he
Oh
like
my
got
God,
hit
they
and still
were.
was able to hit that.
Yeah. I
Uh,
mean, the bullet
Anyway,
went
Yeah, it
through
was
no,
a
the
I
good.
front windshield, so he had to be
yeah,
in front of her.
right.
Yeah,
Um, here's
I
what I'll
did the
say.
same thing in
Oh,
the
Go
same
ahead, Desiree.
situation. I would not hesitate.
this is with any officer of any law, any human being when
Yeah.
they use deadly force. Okay, science, we're all human beings. Number one, we can establish that fact. And then science says that in human beings, when your adrenaline gets pumped in a situation that your life is in danger, your heart starts to beat really, really fast, and then adrenaline goes, and then a lot of times, it's the flight or fight response. Flight, fight, or fawn, whatever
Fight or
fawning is.
flight.
Or freeze, right?
Or
But
freeze.
another
Flight, fight, fawn, or
aspect,
freeze.
but another
So,
aspect to what you're saying, Desiree, is with that adrenaline, you have heightened reflexes. I
Well,
would
that's what
assume
she's.
probably heightened accuracy. I'm not surprised that he was able to get off a couple shots.
anyway, what I'm just saying is that it's hard to like stop yourself from, like, in that, when your life is in danger, it's hard to stop and not do the thing that's going to kill somebody. You know what? So
Yeah,
the
that's true too.
criticism from outside folks, from when officers have, our officers are involved in officer-involved shootings. It's just, to me, it's just like,
Well, look at the.
you weren't the person that. Now, I guess the argument is, oh well, was their life really in danger? Yeah, but like
Yeah, you
when
weren't
you
there.
when you sit on the toilet seat at night with the lid up, you feel like your life is in danger for a split second. You know what I mean? So like
Oh,
it's
You mean
it's
as your butt falls into the water?
yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
We don't really deal with that. That's a girl thing.
But I mean, a lot of people haven't actually been in a situation where they feel like that before. I had I have a officer of the law that I knew that was telling about a story that he was shot at before, and he was like the way that I was like reacting. He's like, I don't even know what was going. I couldn't. I just was acting. I didn't even have control over what I was doing, really.
Yeah.
I learned a lot about the media and stuff like that from one story. A guy that I knew, I was in my 20s, and he was a Baltimore City police officer, and real character. But anyway, he made the news. This was like front cover of Baltimore Sun for days. It was a huge story at the time. It was like 1995 or something, and 96, something like
And
that.
Baltimore cops are probably pretty
And
grizzled, aren't they?
they, you can't even, they like, their blood pressure doesn't even go up on stuff. Like
Yeah.
they're so cynical. But anyway, the story, the headline in the Baltimore Sun was Baltimore City police officer shoots and kills like 85-year-old grandmother, right? That was like the headline. And people were like, I can't believe this. This is
Off
so,
with his head.
this is awful. And this is like in the early days of like hating the cops, like cop killer and all that stuff. But anyway, I was talking to him, and I was like, when I read the paper, and I was like, holy shit, it's Sean. Anyway, I talked to him about it. He's like, listen, man, and I know I've told this story on this podcast before. He's like, we get a call that this lady's like threatening neighbors. We go in her house. We hear her run upstairs. She says that she's armed or something like that. We go up the stairs. We're going up these attic stairs. They're only like 24 inches wide, the staircase. I'm in front. I've got my gun drawn. My partner's behind me. He has his gun over my shoulder. We're like taking steps like up this narrow staircase. She comes around the corner. She has a knife, like a butcher's knife, large knife, and she's running down the stairs. She's like 9 feet away from and he's like, bah, 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 but it's like the newspaper made it sound like, this lady was out in her garden, like gardening, and this cop just drove by and like capped her in the head or something. I mean, it's just like context is important. It is
Yeah, you
so
think?
important. Yeah. And if you look at like, I mean, this is like the Rittenhouse thing all over again.
Yeah.
If we didn't have this footage, can you imagine if we didn't have this footage?
No,
Because the footage allows us to not let the media just completely fabricate
Mike,
reality.
no, you're right. And that's one of the greatest things ever is that there was the push for the body camera came from the left when they were saying that cops were beating up and shooting black people for no reason and we need to have more scrutiny on our law enforcement. That came from that direction. So
Yeah,
now body cam is standard practice and it's the best thing that happened
it's
for
the
pro
best.
cop people ever,
Yeah.
Yeah.
ever.
I feel
Because
like
you
it's
see,
it's a,
because
they're shooting themselves in the foot. The
well,
left.
they totally have because whenever
Yeah.
you see like a shooting, 9 out of 10 times you have a completely crazy defendant who's not getting out of the car, who's reaching for the glove box, or they find a weapon, or you have the lady charging down the stairs with the butcher knife. All of it is on camera, and it's
Yeah.
like, okay, so why don't you go after the cops some more? Oh, you can't. That's right, because it's all on video.
Yeah.
I love the body cam. I think
I do too. I didn't
it's
think I
Interestingly,
would.
fantastic.
did you guys hear that the video from Good's spouse from their phone has not been released yet? So we
No.
may be getting some more on that as well.
Well, I'd love to know what the legality of that is. Like if there's an event, like if someone gets shot and you're filming, does the state, does law enforcement have a right to subpoena that camera or
That's
I
a
think they,
that data?
yeah, I think that they can subpoena it, but I don't think it's as simple as give me your phone and we're going to go through it. I know for a fact they can't just go searching through your phone the way they used to
Gotcha.
because
And I'll,
that
you know
that
what? And I'll
that
support that. I'll
that
support that. That's
no, me
fine.
too. No,
Yeah,
me
I'm
too. I
not
mean,
against it. I'm
I'm not
just
against it. Your phone is a computer. If they want to look through your computer in your house, they're going to have
They
to
have
get
to
a
have a
search
search warrant.
warrant,
Yeah.
right?
I just
So
think yeah, I just think her phone and her wife's phone. I mean, if I'm the defense or if I'm them and their lawyer,
You're gonna subpoena
I
it.
don't want to have that phone turned over because for the wife, it's going to have her voice like right there, the drive baby drive.
yeah, all
And
of
they
it.
were saying all this shitty stuff to those police officers. I mean, the idea that they were just out there protesting, they were being incredibly shitty towards these
Inflammatory.
officers, very inflammatory,
Yeah.
mocking them, all this stuff. They weren't just out there walking around or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm in full support of law enforcement. I mean, yeah, you got some bad eggs, but I think it's a very small portion. I think most people that are in
100% there's
law
some bad
enforcement
eggs. Yeah.
want to do it because they want to make the world a better
I
place.
mean, I'm
You,
not I'm not always supportive. I mean, I'm supportive of lawful behavior. If police officers are behaving lawfully, then I support them. If
yeah, even if they're
protesters are
wrong.
behaving lawfully, I support them. But
Yeah, even if they're
this is a
wrong.
clear example of that it was not exactly happening. But cops can be, when you give any subset of people the type of power that we give law enforcement officers,
You got dicks.
rightfully so, they have to be checked. Like,
Well,
you
I'll give
have
you
to
a good
keep
for
an eye on
instance.
them.
A good for instance, I got pulled over the other day, right? And what had happened was, um, I was
What?
driving across Route 50. You either know it or you don't. And the cars in front of me stopped, and the police officer gets behind me and pulls me over and says, "Hey, there's a white line, you're supposed to stop until the car in front of you gets across the road." I'm like, "That's not true." Right? I'm like, that's nonsense. And he goes, "And what you did was this and this and this." And I said, "Hold on, let me check the video from my dash cam." And he comes back like 2 minutes later. He's like, "I'm gonna let you off with a warning today." So, I mean, he was kind of a dick, but he also knew that I had video. Oh,
Hey,
hello,
Cat.
big dude. Um, he also knew that in court, my video is going to prove that what he said was inaccurate. He was just probably what it was beginning of the month, so it probably wasn't a quota. That's usually at the end of the month, right?
I I guess. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he was just messing with you. Maybe he didn't know.
Yeah. Anyway,
I don't know.
um,
Whoa, what's going on, buddy?
well, guys,
Okay,
do we have anything else we want to discuss with this?
he's stepping on my
And
keyboard.
I
Yeah,
ran
I
so
I just
away.
think something's gonna. I mean, not like I mean, of course, something's going on. I mean, it's it's amazing what's going on in Iran. I mean, you talk about revolution. There are people that are literally taking their lives in their hands, going out and protesting, and getting mowed down. There's footage. I mean, thanks to even though a lot of people in my area, part of the anti-Elon Tesla club folks who have stickers on their Teslas about how they bought the Tesla before they knew Elon was crazy. But this man, this horrible man, created Starlink, um, which is really the only way that any information is getting out of Iran right now. I mean, having satellite internet capability, which is just such a game changer. But there's footage of government troops just literally taking like shotguns and machine guns and just mowing people down. I mean, the official counts a few hundred, the unofficial counts like 20,000 people have been killed.
I'd like to
Um,
get Lena back on if I can get her to come on to talk about this.
I think it would be
Yeah,
great
we
if she
should if we're
had
gonna
some. I think that
if
would be a good topic next week because this is
yeah,
going to
if
be in
we
the
if
news.
we can get her on, that'd be fine.
I have a million questions for her. Yeah,
I
I
don't even know
mean,
what's going on there.
so
There's a revolution.
basically,
It's another Arab Spring kind of vibe.
well, the country's failing. I mean, the Iranian uh, government has always made its bones selling oil, um, and it's basically been the leader of like a lot of proxy forces, like in Yemen and Hamas and Hezbollah and all these
Yeah.
other Muslim Brotherhood. Anyway, with the sanctions that Trump put on in his first term that were then taken off by Biden and now have been put back on, we've been restricting their ability to make money by restricting their ability to sell oil to other European countries and all that stuff. So their their economy has been crashing to the point that I don't know what you call their dollar, but their base economic unit is basically worthless. It's like the Weimar Republic now. It's like you could have, a wheelbarrow full of them and they're like almost worth nothing. We took out, or Israel during the 12-year or 12-day war took out almost all of their air defenses. I mean, the US can fly over Iran with impunity. Like there's no getting shot out of the sky or anything. They haven't rebuilt any of that. Um,
So they're on the brink.
they're on the brink, and the thing with Iran, I mean, you talk about like progressive country.
It's a
Yeah,
fucking
sorry.
Black Panther just walked
I
by
know.
on the screen.
The
You have to
you
put
know,
in a roar when
I
when
Iran is a very like modern Persian. They're not Arab, they're Persian. Um the people are very smart, very resourceful, and they've been living under this theocracy, this like browbeating, over the top, crazy theocracy for almost 50 years. And they're done. They're done
and
with it. I mean, I don't know.
classically,
Anyway, I think the country's going to fall. I mean, the theocracy is going to fall. It's just a matter of time. I mean, I think it's going to be a matter of days or
and
weeks, to be
and
honest
wouldn't
with
it be
you.
accurate to say that classically the Iranian people, not the government, but the Iranian people, love the West?
Yes, in general, yes. They're
So
very Western. Iran
yeah.
is not it's
Yeah,
not
we've all seen the pictures
caveman
of them back in
culture.
like the 50s where they're wearing bikinis on the beach and
Before
yeah.
1979, Iran was like Tehran was, it wasn't like Paris, but it was a sophisticated
Yeah.
society.
They got knocked
Very
Yeah.
back about
Western.
100 years. Yeah.
Who knows? By the time we do next week's episode, there's probably going to be more news on it for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
At least in terms of what the U.S. is up to in relation to it.
Yep.
That's something we should talk about definitely. But
Well, on that note, would you say
I'd say we covered the ice story pretty thoroughly, and so we've been on for a while. If you guys, what do you think? Should we? Is it time to wrap it up?
I think it's cool. Yeah,
I
let's
think it's
wrap it
time to
up.
wrap it up. All right,
yeah.
guys. We'll
And
see you all
I
next
will
week.
work and I will work on getting Lena on. I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't talked to her in a while, but
Yeah,
we'll
just tell
see.
her we'd love to hear her perspective.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
Cool.
one would imagine we can turn it off. But one would imagine
Okay.
in the intro since we last talked to her that she's maybe had better contact because of things like Starlink and all that. So we
Yeah,
might get
maybe.
oh
All
All
right,
right.
everybody.
We'll see you all next week. We'll bring the cat again.
Say goodnight, Fagan. Good night, Fagan.
Night
All
night.
right. Take care, guys.
Bye.
all right. See you guys.
Bye, guys.